Hello everyone, this is Atik and I'm back with another video on financial accounting. In my previous videos, I have discussed about 6 important accounting terms. That is assets, liabilities, equity, revenue, expense and dividends. If you haven't watched those videos, then please go ahead and watch to have a better understanding of these terms. Because in this video, we are going to discuss about debits and credits and how they behave when we apply the debit credit rule. And also, I'm going to give you a tip that will help you remember the debit credit rule. But before we move forward, I want you to delete all preconceived ideas about debits and credits because it's probably not what you think. So let's get started. The terms debit and credit means left and right respectively. If we look at a T account, we will notice that there are two sides. The left hand side is called the debit side and the right hand side is called the credit side. Debit and credit tells us on which side we shall record our business transaction. If we record on the left hand side, then the account is debited, or if we record any transaction on the right hand side, then the account is credited. Now here is the thing. The debits must always equal to the credits. If the debit side totals $10,000, then the credit side must be $10,000 as well. This equality of debits and credits provides the basis for the double entry system of recording transaction, also referred to as double entry bookkeeping system. Let's analyze a transaction to understand the double entry system. For example, you have taken a loan of $5,000 from your friend. The cash balance of yours would increase by $5,000. Cash is an asset for us, and since it increased, we would debit cash by $5,000. The other effect of this transaction is that your liability also increased by $5,000, since you will have to pay back your friend. So we would credit loan payable account because it's a liability account, and we would credit liability accounts when it increases. We will discuss more business transactions in our upcoming videos. For now, we will move to the expanded accounting equation. We will come back to this T account on later part of the video. In my previous video, I have discussed about the expanded accounting equation, which is assets is equal to liabilities plus paid in capital plus revenue minus expense minus dividends. Now, paid in capital can also be referred to as the owner's equity, since it's capital invested by the owners or investors. We are going to use the term owner's equity instead of paid in capital in this video. Now, if we rearrange this equation, we are going to get dividends plus expense plus assets is equal to liabilities plus owner's equity plus revenue. The accounts on the left hand side are debits. We debit these accounts when it increases and credit when it decreases. The accounts on the right hand side are credits. We credit these accounts when it increases and debit when it decreases. We refer to this rule as the debit credit rule. Now here is the tip that will help us remember this rule. That is dealer. The left hand side is represented by DEA and the right hand side is represented by LER. Now let's take this equation and place it in our T account. So under debit side we have dividends, expense and assets, that is DEA of dealer. And on the right hand side we have liability, equity and revenue, that is LER of dealer. So dividends, expense and assets are debited when they increase and credited when they decrease. Liability, equity and revenue accounts are credited when they increase and debited when they decrease. Now, to sum up, debits mean left hand side of an account and credits mean right hand side of an account. The debits must always be equal to the credits. This equality of debits and credits is the basis for double entry system of bookkeeping. Dividend, expense and asset accounts are debited when they increase, credited when they decrease. Liability, equity, and revenue accounts are credited when they increase and debited when they decrease. In order to remember the debit credit rule, we will use the term dealer. I hope you would find this video helpful. Do like and subscribe for more accounting videos every week. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye and take care.